Welcome, race fans, back Sunday night CFM, Checker Flag Motorsports Speedway Monkeys, live here at Talladega. Good to have everybody joining us tonight for Season 2, Round 2 of the new season. Got a little bit to go over here before we get to our national anthem. Of course, our points from last week's race after race number 1. Anthony English with the win last week, sitting there at 48 points. Anthony Bledsoe in second with 44. Adam Kilday coming in third right there with 43. Kevin Haas at 41. Mark Mann at 40. Sean Stevens, our season 1 winner, in at 39. Hunter Reynolds at 38. Tied for 7th there with Paul Servant with 38 as well. David Overstreet in 9th at 37. Alex Giffen and Alex Green both with 35 for that 10th place spot. Andy Brigante in 12th at 33. James Mayer in 13th at 32. Cole Spalding in the 14th at 31. In 15th, Dusty Burkhart at 30. Jim Duda in 16th at 29. Rick Seabrands in 17th at 29 as well. Sean Frazier in 18th at 27, tied with Russ Hancock, also at 27, and E.J. DeBoer rounding out your top 20 with 25. Well, guys, we have got a great night of racing here at Talladega. We was just here last night, but we are back again. It's a beautiful sky view of Talladega. Got Joshua out there in chat, said he may join me in the booth for just a minute. Definitely glad to see him on Discord. But we're going to go ahead and get to our pre-race analytics real fast. 7-mile-an-hour wind, air temp at 76. Track temp a little high at 112 degrees tonight. We got 80 laps, 212 miles. Again, tonight's race is actually sponsored by Andrew Schroeder Men's Mental Health 200 here at Talladega. Fuel window at 50%. We're probably looking at about 25 laps roughly for the pit window. Maybe a little bit less. We'll see what these guys do. Pit road speed at 55, pace speed at 75. Well, we're going to go ahead and step aside here, folks. We're going to play our national anthem provided by our friends at Madison Rising. When we get back, we'll try to get a interview or two in with the guys before we get to qualifying. Hang tight. We will be right back.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallant
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching MaxspeedTV.
Welcome back, folks. Again, big shout out to Madison Rising for their version of the national anthem. So we are again at Talladega, season 2, round 2, Speedway Monkeys, CFM Speedway Monkeys, presented by Buttkicker. Tonight's race sponsored by Andrew Schroeder, the Men's Health 200. Now, Andrew is not here tonight, unfortunately. I think he had something going on with some family or something, but big shout out to Anthony for sponsoring tonight's race. Looks like we're going to have a pretty good field out here tonight, folks. Looking at about 36, 37 drivers out here tonight. So not as big as a field as last week, but we're going to have quite a few drivers out here as the checker comes out on the practice. These guys will start qualifying here shortly. We'll go ahead and get our qualifying times up. I see several people out there in chat. Jeremy, Joshua, Everett, Grover. I think Everett Baker was out there as well. Good to see you guys out there. Definitely good to see Joshua. Got to talk to him just a minute ago. There's Andrew Schroeder out there in chat. Again, our race sponsor for tonight. Appreciate that, Andrew, very, very much. Moose Pie out there in chat as well. Hello, how are you doing? So as we are waiting on our times to come in, we're going to go ahead and get out here as Sean Frazier is coming out on track. Jim Duda also out on the track. Les Levy coming out as well as Doug Johnson, David Overstreet. Rob Connors out on the track getting his laps in, or his qualifying lap in. Now they get one qualifying lap, 2 GWCs and 2 fast repairs here at CFM. Cole Spalding out there, Bob Fitzgerald, Adam Kilday, Sean Stevens. Now this guy is a new driver for CFM. Caleb Ninast is his name. I told him I was going to go, it's a German name, but I told him I was going to go German on him if he got into it. Got into something, we were just going to start hollering 999. But it's actually Caleb Ninast, and glad to have him here. John Guerrero out on the edge of pit road. Russ Hancock coming out on track. Mike Edgerton throwing down his first time. Ty Dahlman out here, as well as Ash Regner. Jimmy Reynolds, Isaac Ortiz, Andy Brigante, Dave Hunt, Mark Mann out here coming down pit road, Hunter Reynolds, Alex Giffen, and Daniel Harrington. So we are waiting on the laps to start coming in. Sean Frazier got his warm-up lap in. Now he is on his qualifying lap right now. Again, folks, we are looking at about 36, 37 drivers. We're hoping to have a little bit cleaner race than we did last week. Right now, Andy Brigante is sitting at the top. Well, Jim Duda just took him off of that pole with a 55.077. And then Les Levy says, I can do you one better with a 55.063. So times are starting to roll in. Right now, Les Levy is your pole sitter by, looks like 4 thousandths of a second. And then Jimmy Reynolds says, I could top you with a 55.055. And then Paul Servant, these times are coming in pretty quick with a 55.042. So good times lay down by these guys definitely tonight. And I was wanting to see, well, Bubba Winningham is out on the track. Looking through the field to see if I see any names I don't recognize. But pretty much the same Yeah, English is probably going to be up there. Now, Anthony has been on a tear here lately, not with just qualifying, but racing. Our last week winner, and as he is throwing down his first lap, going to see what he does here. That is his warm-up lap of a 1 minute, so he is going to be putting down his qualified lap with 47 seconds left. Is he going to have enough to knock Paul Servan off of that pole position? We'll find out. We're going to keep an eye on him right now as he is coming down the back stretch, coming into turn 3 and 4. Going to keep an eye on that. As he is coming out of turn number 4 to the tri-oval. Going to see if he is able to knock Paul Servan off of that pole position. We'll see what kind of lap time he puts down. No, he did not. He threw down a 55.060, good enough for third. Well, that is going to bring... Well, we'll go ahead and bring him up to the broadcast booth here. Paul, is Steve up to the booth? Got a copy there, buddy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hey, good job on the pole, man. You edged out Jimmy by really by a hundredth of a second. But awesome job. Congratulations. What do you got to do tonight, brother?
Survive. I mean, we're a lot of people here tonight.
Yeah, we're looking at 38 trucks. Not a bad field, but it's a little bit lower than we had last week, so it's going to be a little more manageable, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Looks like most of them are all CFM guys or OP guys that you've run with before, so.
Yeah, it should be all right. You never know with these qualifyings with the realistic weather. I mean, it can be anybody. I mean, look at Jimmy. Even Jimmy beat his son Hunter, and Hunter is awesome at qualifying. So. It's
Yes,
pretty
he
good.
is. Now, the track temperature has went up. We're at 120 degrees. How much is that going to affect you guys out there?
I mean, I don't know. It's a new track I've been on since the update. So I heard the yellow strips are slippery. So I mean, who knows?
All right. Well, congratulations, buddy. We're going to get to our starting grid, and just good luck and have fun racing tonight.
Thank you, sir.
We'll get him back down there to room number 4. I believe that was where he was at. Nope, I think he was in room 3. We'll move him to room 3. There we go. But anyways, here we go, guys. We're going to get to our MaxspeedTV starting grid. Paul Servan is your pole sitter starting in row 1. On his outside is that 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Starting row 2 inside, Anthony English, and it's still showing Chase Driver. I don't know why. I have deleted all of those contents, but it's still doing it. The 62 of Les Levy on his outside. Starting row 3, 26 of Hunter Reynolds. On his outside, the 38 of Doug Johnson. Starting row 4, on the inside, the 27 of Sean Stevens. To his outside is that 53 of Jim Duda. Starting row 5 is the 61 of Ash Regner. On the outside is the 53 of Dave Hunt. Starting row 6, Dana Osborne. On the inside, to his outside, the 88 of John Guerrera. Starting row 7, the 49 of Cole Spalding. On the inside, on the outside of him, 69 of Dusty Burkhart. Starting row 8, the 13 of Andy Brigante. Outside of him is that 6 machine of Bubba Whittingham. Starting row 9 is the 46 of David Overstreet. Outside of him is our newcomer, Caleb Nast. Man, say that fast 5 times. I told you I was going to butcher his name, and I told him that tonight. So, row 10, 89 of Josh Gathright. Good to see Josh out here tonight. 14 of Sean Frazier to his outside. Starting row 11, Rob Connors in a double lot truck. On his outside, the 85 of Adam Kilday. Starting row 12, the 08 of Bob Fitzgerald. On the outside of him, 56 of Mike Edgerton. Row 13, the 78 Chris Jordan. His outside, the 343 of Russ Hancock. Starting row 14 is the 02 of Isaac Ortiz. To his outside is that 99 of Alex Giffen. Starting row 15, the 4 of Rick C. Brandt is outside the 39 of Shane Ward. Row 16, 95 of James Mayer on the inside. Outside of him is the 04 of Mark Mann. Starting row 17, 34 of Ty Dahlman in 33rd. And on his outside, the 11 of John Kinzer. Starting row 18, the 45 of Michael Pratt is outside the 82 of Daniel Harrington. Starting row 19, the 28 of George Rincon. His outside is the 84 of Lynn McNeese. And that is your starting field. 38 drivers out here tonight. Pace car dies off to the safety of pit road as we come to the Geico restart zone. The flag man is watching these guys closely to make sure everybody's in line. Does have the green flag in his hand as we come to the start zone. Green flag flies just for Joshua. Boogity, 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 folks. We're racing Talladega style. Great start by these guys. We're hoping to have a lot cleaner race than we did last week, as you see Hunter Reynolds jumping up in front of his dad, Jimmy. Paul Swan still out front, got that 44 of Anthony English right behind him. Now again, track temperature is a little high, a little higher than normal, but these guys are used to running on these high temp tracks. Jake CFM Checker Flag Motorsports says he loves the intro. I appreciate it. Was able to get some good footage last week without the cautions, and got something built for you guys. But Joshua Medlock out there whooping it up. I had to do it just for you, as we are on Anthony English right now. Again, myself, Stephen Lane, on the mic, your commentator for tonight's race. Again, I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. But Hunter Reynolds has jumped out to the lead. Does have his dad, Jimmy Reynolds, right behind him, but Paul Swan, Adam Kilday, or Anthony English, Sean Stevens down on that inside line. It looks like that is the 053 down there on that inside line, as well as Jim Duda. Looks like everybody's numbers are matching their trucks. Kentucky is going to the Annapolis. Did they win? I thought they still had some games to play. We're looking at Paul Servant out front right there. Good racing here, guys. They are side by side pretty much all the way through the field as we get back here towards the back. A little bit of a wiggle there by Caleb. But looking back through here, Chris Jordan back here towards the back. And that 78 machine got Mike Edgerton right there in front of him, as we are trying to catch up. Now we do, Biz, we have a lot of trucks now. I have it set to where it shows all the trucks at once, but it is not quite being cooperative with me. You'll see some of them kind of blink out a little bit. Hunter Reynolds, though, is battling out with Paul Servant up here for the lead. We have that could be just so many trucks out here on the track. iRacing and is having issues. We didn't ask what the fuel status or how many miles they can get, or how many laps they can get on the 50%. We're going to go ahead and look back here on Sean Frazier, as we are 3 wide back here. That looks like the 4 of Rick Seabrand. 39, I believe that is Shane Ward, as we get that outside line trying to form up. that is the 57 of Caleb Nenast. Trying to get that outside line going. Well, there goes Andy Brigante out there with him in that 13 machine, and Dayton Osborne. Now that is Les Levy taking it out to that outside line as well. So you've got Les Levy, Andy Brigante, Dayton Osborne. That is the 343 of Russ Hancock out on that outside line as we're 3 wide back here towards that area. Looking at a TV follow here as you see Andy Brigante giving that 62 machine of Les Levy a pretty good shove, trying to help him get up there as they got the momentum coming through the corner. Oh, man, there goes Les upside down along the wall. That's going to bring out our first caution. And from what I was seeing there, folks, that honestly looked like net code. We're going to rewind this here. We're going to take a look at this at a little closer view. We're actually on Ash Regner, but we're going to move up here to Les Levy and get on a chase view. I'm pretty sure that looked like net code to me, guys. Let me get turned here a little bit here. Yeah, that was net code right there. That was between him and Doug Johnson. You'll see the gap. I mean, you could call it net code. You could call it taking the air off of him. But right there, you see the gap, and all of a sudden, you see Les Levy's truck pushed to the side. And Les up on that wall, but Doug Johnson drops down and starts collecting other trucks. That's a 61 of Ash Regner. Looks like the 53 of Dave Hunt as well, getting a piece of that. Now, Doug Johnson does have the meatball flag as that pushes Dave Hunt. Oh, and then there is the 46 of David Overstreet. Whew, he is up and airborne. Fortunately, stayed upright. Man, that could have been a lot worse. Looks like Doug Johnson is the only one with the meatball flag. Now, they do have 2 fast repairs. We're going to get up here. Let's see. Let's see if Mr. Les, we'll wait till he was down here in room 3. As soon as he gets going here, we'll visit with Les and we'll kind of see what he felt in the truck and let him know that that was not anything intentional. Yes, he did. I think Les was trying to join him on that frequent flyer list as well. Well, we'll see if Les will talk to us here real quick while he's getting his repairs done. Hey, Les, Steve up in the booth. Got a copy, buddy.
Steve, what happened there, bud? Did I wreck somebody?
No, sir. It was all net code.
Oh, man.
You and Doug Johnson were right there, and you kind of got pushed down on him a little bit, and the net code came up and bit you, buddy.
We gotta talk to that netcode driver. I tell you, he's got to go back for remedial training.
Well,
every week we got a wreck because of Mr. Netcode.
Yes, we do. We were just going to visit with you a minute, see what you felt. Now, from a driver's perspective, it almost would feel like somebody had taken you out.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like somebody clipped me on the left rear quarter. Either I came down or was thinking maybe Doug had come up, but you never know. Mr. Netcode, he likes to split those small little gaps between the vehicles.
Yes, he does, and it's
that
a pain
devil
in the rear. But
it sure is.
No, we also want to let you know it wasn't nothing malicious. It was all net code. We actually caught it live. So
cool. Well, Doug wouldn't do that. It's not the way he drives.
No.
Listen, a little bit of damage on the truck that was driving on its side on the fence, and You know what? Crew chief banged it out, put a little Bondo on it, and we're hoping it dries in time.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck, and just wanted to get your opinion or get your driver's point of view of what happened, what you felt.
Sounds good, Steven.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Let's see. We'll get you back down. I think you were in 3.
Yeah, with Paul.
Yeah. All right, we got him back down into his room. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger over here so I can see what's going on. Well, guys, that's our first caution, but Hunter Reynolds is your leader right now. Paul Servant in second, Sean Stevens third, Jimmy Reynolds fourth, Jim Duda fifth, English in sixth, Ward seventh, Conte eighth, Osborne in ninth, Dusty Burkhart in 10th. So pretty good field out here, really, guys. John Herrera looks like he is on pit road. He didn't start, or he started, and then now he is on pit road. And Alex Giffen is back here. Let's see if he's back out on the track. He is coming out now in that 99 machine. So still got 37 drivers out here, guys. It's a good field as we get back up towards the front for our restart. All right, Moose Pie, glad you came in for a little bit. Glad you were able to join us for a little while. You go get you some rest, and you have a wonderful night. Well, really not much that could have happened on that incident with the net code. It was just a thing of the simulator. It always happens. These guys are coming down to the tri-oval. We'll go ahead and get on our restart cam. As they come to the Geico restart zone, flagman's got the green flag in his hand. All restarts, I believe, are on the flag. So green flag back out. Here we go, back racing. Maybe a little bit of a tire spin by Jimmy Reynolds there, but was able to maintain and keep going. Hunter Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds, and that is Jim Duda and the 39-0 Shane Ward down on that inside. Oh, Shane drops down to the apron. Don't know if he got shoved down there, but he is dropping back fast. Not sure as the caution does come out. We're going to take a look here and see. Oh, right there. That is the 57 of Caleb. Well, it happened a little bit further back. I think everybody was checking up for the Shane being down. Got pushed down on the apron. And then that's where all the stuff happened back here in the back with Caleb, Doug Johnson, the 08 of Bob Fitzgerald. Well, that is our second caution. Ash Regner, Alex Giffen, Caleb all have meatball flags. Unfortunately, that green flag run didn't last long, about a lap and a half. Or not even that. Again, we are here at Talladega, Checker Flag Motorsports, presented by Buttkicker, Season 2, Round 2, here at, it says Daytona. It should be Talladega. We're going to change that real quick. I had Talladega in ATVO this morning when I fixed it up, but well, these guys are coming down pit road once again. Looks like everybody is coming down. Caleb has used both of his fast repairs. Ash used one. Alex Gifford used one. I'm trying to look here. Everybody's moving around. David Overstreet's had to use one. Doug Johnson's had to use one. Let's see here. Dave Hunt. Looks like Dave Hunt had to use one. Trying to get things moved around. Well, looking at our top 10, you got Burkhart, Osborne, Ortiz, Edgerton, Rincon, Servant, English, Reynolds, Stevens. Well, that'd be Hunter Reynolds, Stevens, and Jimmy Reynolds. Your top 10, Eddie Brigante, Duda, Levy, Hancock, Winningham, Hunt, Spalding, Connors, Gathright, and Fitzgerald in your top 20. Outside of the top 20, you have Harrington, Kilday, Jordan, Seabrands, Mayer, Pratt, Mann, McNeese, Johnson, Kinzer, Overstreet, Frazier, Ward, Gifford, Regner, Nenast, and Dahlman. Rounding out the remaining 37 trucks we have here on the track tonight. Hopefully these guys will settle down just a little bit. We will start lining up side by side. They're coming here to the line. The lights on the pace car should go out. That will mean one to go. Get a good shot of them coming through. Some pretty good, awesome views here at Talladega. Again, glad everybody can join us tonight. 13 viewers out there watching right now. Hope everybody's had a wonderful weekend. I know I haven't done much, kind of worked out and helped the wife plant a few flowers and plants this weekend, so you know, like they say, happy wife, happy life. So, got to take care of the missus and what she needs done, that's for sure. As we are coming down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4, lights on the pace car are out, so we will get back to green flag racing here shortly. Dusty Burkhart, Dana Osborne, Isaac Ortiz, and Mike Edgerton opted not to go into the pits. We are lap 13 of 80. Again, tonight's race sponsored by Andrew Schroeder, Men's Mental Health 200 here at Talladega. So big shout out to Andrew. I know he was out there in chat, probably still watching. Pace car does dive off down to pit road. We're going to get on our restart cam here in just a second. There we go. As the guys come to the Geico restart zone. Flag man's looking up and down the lines to make sure everybody's in position. The flag is in the air, folks. Here we go. Green flag back out. Back racing again. Joshua says he's still here, hasn't passed out yet. Dusty Burkhart on the inside with the 0-2. That is Isaac Ortiz. the 28 of George Rincon and the 44 of Anthony English. Outside line, you've got the 8 of Dana Osborne. Looks like the 56 of Mike Edgerton and the 3 of Paul Servant, as well as Hunter and Jimmy Reynolds as well there. I do apologize. That camera angle was a little bit loud, but we were able to get through it. I tried to go through before the race, but they only get 30 minutes of practice, so it only gives me about 10 minutes to make sure all of my cameras and stuff are set. Now we were back 3 wide. Dana Osborne on the inside or midline. Got Hunter and Jimmy Reynolds on that outside. Here comes Anthony English and the old 53 of Jim Duda. Jim is looking down on the inside, trying to stay in the draft. Paul Servant and the 69 of Dusty Burkhart down on that low line with the 02 of Isaac Ortiz. Kind of left Anthony out there to hang out to dry, but here comes 343 of Russ Hancock right behind him. Hunter Reynolds does drop it down in front of Paul Servant. That leaves Jimmy and Dana and Jim there. Duda on the on that second line. Anthony's going to drop it back behind the 053 along with the 343. Got to get a little bit more organized as we look back here. That is the 78. Where is he at? That is Chris Jordan back here on that outside line with the 57 of Caleb. Caleb bouncing off the wall a little bit, falling back. I'm going to look at his truck here just a second. I think he may have a little bit of front end damage. We're going to take a look here. Oh, that's too close. Oh, he looks pretty good. Well, there goes the 78 of, that is Christopher Johnson. Chris Johnson, I should say. Let's get back out here, get back up to the front. Looks like Russ Hancock. Oh, nope, back. That's part of ATBO not working right. Jimmy Reynolds out front, got Hunter right behind him on that inside line. Here comes Dana Osborne, the old 53 of Jim Duda on that second lane with Anthony English. Now Paul Servant coming up on that 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Ooh, Jim kind of going up a little high. Anthony closing that door on him, making it 3 wide there. Kind of pushed Jim up towards the top. Russ Hancock, ooh, what a move there by Hunter. Jim Duda, easy there. Mike Edgerton is back here, side by side with Dave Hunt. Here they go, Dave Hunt around. That's going to cause several guys. Adam Kilday involved. Rash Regner also involved. Cole Spalding, Rick Sanchez, Doug Johnson, Caleb, Jim Mayer, 08 of Bob Fitzgerald, Lynn McNeese. Looks like he might have got around it as Caleb is having a hard time getting his truck going. We're going to take a look here. We kind of caught that on live, but we're going to go back here to the previous incident here. That happened right there with Mike Edgerton. Let's see if I can't get up here to where he's at. Get on a chase view here. We'll get this camera turned around. We're going to back this up just a little bit more. We were 3 wide. You had, looks like the 62 of Les Levy down on that inside. Dave Hunt there in the middle. Mike on that outside. It looks like Dave kind of came up, wasn't quite clear of Mike, and got into each other. That's just from what I'm seeing. Ooh. And then netcode there on Adam Kilday. As Adam's trying to save it, ends up getting spun around. Andrew Schroeder out there says, I'm here. Again, big shout out to you, Andrew, for sponsoring tonight's race, buddy. I know mental health is very, very important for everybody. But you know, we gotta make sure we take care of ourselves, and both physically and mentally. So big shout out to you, Andrew, for sponsoring tonight's race, Men's Mental Health 200 here at Talladega. As the 78 Chris Jordan is your leader. Caleb there in second. Got Hunter Reynolds in third. English in fourth, and Jimmy Reynolds rounding out your top five. Then you got Osborne, Savant, Hancock, Burkhart, Duda rounding out your top 10. I'm not seeing any black flags or meatballs, so that's always a good thing. Well, I know, I think you said you had some family stuff to do tonight. Family's important, brother. You know, this can wait. Got to take care and spend time with the family when you can, because, well, as we all know, you know, tomorrow is never promised. So, got to make the best of what we got. Well, I see somebody down there in the waiting room. I believe he has access to come up. Just tell me yes or no, Josh. I know you're still out there watching, and again, I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Got 12 viewers and only 5 likes. Can we at least get 10 likes out there? If you would, please. That lets these guys know that you appreciate everything that they do out on the track, and also lets them know that, you know, I'm doing a pretty good job for them. So absolutely, Everett Baker is 100% correct. You know, not to divulge too much, I am a veteran. I was never deployed, but was activated during Katrina, and I'm going to tell you, some of the images that I still have in my head for that is always will be, and it's something that I see a therapist every 3 to 4 months. Make sure that everything is going good. I do have PTSD. I do have anxiety. I do have depression. So, but yeah, definitely if you ever feel like you need somebody to talk to, you can always reach out to me, either through Facebook, Discord, doesn't matter. If you just need somebody to talk to, just shoot me a message. We'll sit there and talk. Do not have a problem with that. Like Ever said, you got to get it checked. Don't let it go unchecked, because I never knew I had the issues I had till I got stuck in traffic in Dallas one time, and yeah, it was horrible. Started having a major panic attack, anxiety, and well, it almost ruined my family. So, because I would not go get it looked at. I was too proud, had too much pride. Well, here we go, coming to the restart zone once again. Flag man has the green flag in his hand. Lap 21 of 80 completed will be lap 22 when we cross the line. Jordan, Reynolds, English. Here we go, green flag back out. Caleb and Dana Osborne, your top 5. Coming around back straightaway out of turn number 2. Caleb down, or that is Chris Jordan down on that low line. Let me get back out here. You got, looks like Hunter Reynolds out on that outside with Anthony English. Russ Hancock. 53 of Jim Duda. The 57 of Caleb Denast. On that inside. Getting a little bit squirrely back here, 3 wide as we watch these guys come through the tri-oval. Hunter Reynolds going to lead another lap. We'll get on Hunter. That is his 7th lap led. 8th lap, I should say, as Anthony English, Russ Hancock, Jim Duda on that second line. Kind of looks like a snake going down through there as we got 2 trucks coming to the outside, making it 3 wide. I believe Mouse. That is the 28 of George Rincon. I believe that is the 49 of Cole Spalding. They're going to have Les Levy in the 62 jump out there with them, as well as the 343 of Russ Hancock. Trying to get that outside line to work. We're going to see if we can't get it here. As Hunter Reynolds makes a pretty aggressive move. Going back out to a wider view. 343 still stuck on that outside line. 69 of Dusty Burkhart right there in front of Les Levy. They're trying to get that second line to go, but Hunter Reynolds and Anthony English try to check out. But the 78 of Chris Jordan is closing that gap with Dana Osborne and Jimmy Reynolds. Now Jim Duda there with Bubba Winningham and Dusty Burkhart on that second line. 62 of Les Levy, 38 of Doug Johnson. And I believe that is the 7. Who is that? Is that the 57? No, that is the 11. That's Jason Kinzer, guy we haven't talked about tonight, coming up with Doug Johnson and the 82 of Daniel Harrington as well. A couple guys we haven't talked about much tonight, trying to make a move now on that second line. They got a run going here. So great racing really so far going on. As Hunter Reynolds right now out front. Got a special guest up here in the booth with us. Glad to see him out here. Glad to have him on Discord, even though it's only going to be for just a minute. Mr. Joshua Medlock, buddy, glad to have you.
Well, thank you for having me up here for just a minute. You know, I wanted to jump up here and of course, give everybody a big shout out. You know, thank you for the thoughts and prayers. Of course, you, Steven, for, you know, keeping everybody updated and covering, you know, the races. And, you know, I know you got CFM tonight, and what a great group of guys that are out there. You know, we know everybody from OP, but, you know, it's a different league. And, you know, them guys putting on a show, and really enjoy sitting and watching it.
Well, you know, we started our new season last week, Joshua, and, well, it was a little bit hectic, but so far, really, we're having a good race tonight. These guys are, you know, doing well. And, you know, we're just glad you're still here with us, and, you know, we need you to take it easy, brother, and, you know, get you some rest and just recuperate, because we need you back up here in the booth.
Yeah, that'll come sooner than later. I'm thinking, you know, I've got to get to where I'm not running out of breath so quickly, because that's the big thing I'm running into right now. And yeah, you know, once all that comes back, I should be all right. You know, day by day, did have a little scare Tuesday night. I had another heart attack. It was minor, but still definitely a heart attack. Still something to, you know, worry about. You know, having already 2 of them, I'm at, you know, already at a high risk. But, you know, yeah, thank you all. Thank you everybody out there for, you know, like I said, all the thoughts and prayers. Still continue to pray for me, because this pain is no fun. I can tell you that right now.
Well, you know, it's anytime that you have a surgery of any sort, there's always going to be that pain involved. And I know that this is probably a pain that most people have never experienced. I hope I never do, but definitely glad you're around, brother. And well, we're just glad you're here with us.
Yeah, like I said, it was scary. Of course, that first heart attack was definitely a wake-up call. You know, not only for me, but several people that I know, including my brother, my best friend. I won't go into details, but, you know, it was definitely a huge wake-up call. It did allow me to stop smoking, so that's a good deal. You know, and I don't vape, so, you know, I don't wish this on my worst enemy. It is a surgery that takes a long time to recover from, and anybody that's been through it, you know, they know exactly what I'm going through, and it is definitely not fun.
Well, brother, I appreciate you coming in here for just a little bit. You need to go get you some rest, sit back, enjoy watching the race, and man, I'll talk at you soon.
Alrighty, Steven. Like I said, thank you everybody again. I'll be around. I'm sure I will. So, Steven, have fun. Everybody out there at CFM, good luck tonight. Have some more fun, and we'll get back in chat. Thank you, Steven.
Yes, sir. Well, much love, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, much love too, man.
All right. Well, it's awesome to have him up here for just a minute. Of course, Joshua is the owner of MaxspeedTV. But with him being out, and we've been just trying to, you know, keep this thing going for him, and it's been a coordinated effort between several of us, myself, Jeremy. Jeremy's been keeping everybody in the loop, keeping us informed. Of course, Dennis Ansman helping me cover on Tuesday nights, which allowed me to race a little bit. But you know, big shout out to Dennis Ansman out there. I'm sure he's probably maybe tuning in, may not. He may go back and watch it, but you know, it's been a team effort to keep this thing going. And you know, I just can't thank everybody enough. Our fans, got to thank our fans for sticking with us, and you know, making sure that we still have people out there watching and praying for Josh. So big shout out to our fans as well. As we get back to the action, Jim Duda is your leader, has led 5 laps. Got Bubba Whittingham, him and Bubba Whittingham going back and forth. Bubba hasn't led any, looking to get his first lap led. He's got the 69 of Dusty Burkhart right behind him, 62 of Les Levy on that outside, and that Maker, beautiful cherry red Maker's Mark truck. Doesn't look like that second line has enough to get to the start finish line. And I will say this, if anybody out there is interested in broadcasting, drop us a line, let us know, join our MaxspeedTV Discord. We are, you know, we want to keep this thing going, but we want to have good, reliable people to help broadcast. So if anybody is interested, just shoot us a message. We'll have a sit down with you, and we'll see what we can do. As we are looking at lap 32 of 80. Coming around the trioval before the start of lap 33. Jim Duda is going to be your leader. Going to lead another lap there as we got one. That is Ash Regner coming off of pit road. We are 3 wide, though. That's Jim Duda on the inside. Bubba Winningham in the middle. Les Levy on the outside. In row 2, you've got 26 of Hunter Reynolds. The 69 of Dusty Burkhart and the 13 of Andy Brigante. And then you've got this 44 of Anthony English, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds, the 38 of Doug Johnson, and 27 of Sean Stevens there on that outside. Go get you some rest, Joshua, brother. We love you. And we'll talk soon, brother. Here we go, coming around, finishing up lap 33. Jim Duda is going to lead another lap. That is 8 laps led. That second line. Oh, Doug Johnson blinking out right there in front of the 11 of Jason Kinzer. Well, Hunter Reynolds is giving that 53 of Jim Duda a pretty good push there on the back straightaway. Coming in 2 turns, 3 and 4. Bubba Winningham, Dusty Burkhart needs to close that gap a little bit and push Bubba up there to get his first lap led. As the 78 does drop down to the apron, that is Chris Jordan. Letting the lead lap group come through. Jim Duda is going to lead his 9th lap. Good run from these guys. Good green flag run. We've been out here 16 laps on this run, so I would venture to say these guys are going to kind of keep it settled down. Probably start getting ready for some green flag pit stops here pretty soon, as Bubba Winningham is kind of dropping back, looking to see if they do get room as they come up on the lap traffic of that 57 of Caleb. Really no room for these guys to drop down. We're kind of keeping an eye right here to see when they're going to start pitting. Almost looked like we were going to start seeing, as we see Dave Hunt going down pit road right now. Bubba Winningham, Dusty Burkhart still out there on that outside line on that second lane. Looked like Jim Mayer was going to try to give Bubba a little bit of room. As Bubba does drop it down, that's going to leave Dusty out there by himself. That Ford truck right there, is that going to, Dusty is going to try to maybe slide in back out here behind. Yep, right there behind the 04 of Rick Seabrands. Back up to the front. Here we go. The lead group coming down pit road now. That's Jim Duda. That is Hunter Reynolds. Jimmy Reynolds. That is the, let's see, who else is this? Let me get over here to my right screen. Hunter Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds, Dusty Burkhart, Cole Spaulding, Dana Osborne, Sean Frazier, Doug Johnson, Les Levy, David Overstreet. That is Andy Brigante, Bubba Winningham, Josh Gathright, Sean Frazier, Rob Connors, Bob Fitzgerald, Jason Kinzer, Russ Hancock, Ash Regner, Daniel Harrington. Dave Hunt was back there. Here, Alex Giffen is been out here 17 laps. But back on this lead pack, though, Anthony English, James Mayer. That is the 85 of Adam Kilday. Here they come down pit road now, along with Rick Seabrands. Get it locked down, boys. Oh, Adam Kilday sliding off into the grass. Mark Mann coming down, Paul Servant, Sean Stevens, Isaac Ortiz. Looking to see who, and Lynn McNeese. Michael Pratt out on the track. Ty Ballman out there as well. Been out here. They already pitted. Now Chris Jordan shows he's been out 26 laps. So he is going to be coming in here pretty soon, I would imagine. Oh no, Adam Kilday, black flag. Jim Duda with a black flag. As my ATVO looks like a Christmas tree. Sean Stevens, Anthony English, James Mayer, Rick Seabrands, Mark Mann, Paul Servant, your top 5. Kind of looking here, Jimmy Reynolds, Hunter Reynolds, that group that already pitted coming up and coming up fast. That's Hunter Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds. 39 is Shane Ward, Dana Osborne. The run that they're getting on that second line. Jason Kinzer there with them as well. They are, ooh, good move there by that 39 of Shane Ward down in front of Hunter Reynolds, but on the outside, that is Dusty Burkhart and the 49 of Cole Spalding trying to get that outside line to run as Shane Ward looks like they're about 3.4 seconds behind this lead group. As you see, they are a little more organized up here as I say that, and there goes Rick Seabrands up to the second lane. I think he's kind of peeking up there to see if Mark Mann's going to go with him or not. Anthony English will lead another lap, so that's 4 laps led for Anthony. And looking back here at Mark, 3.091 seconds ahead of this next group as we're starting to get a little bit spread out. Michael out there in chat, how you doing? Glad to have you. New name I haven't noticed before. Definitely glad to have you out there tuning in tonight. Do appreciate all of our fans actually tuning in tonight here on MaxspeedTV, the Checker Flag Motorsports Speedway Monkeys presented by Buttkicker. Of course, tonight's race, our sponsor out there in chat, Andrew Schroeder, Men's Health 200 here at Talladega. We are in round 2 of the new season. Shane Ward is right there. We're going to take a look. Looks like they are making up a little bit of time. Shane Ward and that crew there went from a 3.0 lead or behind to a 2.2. So they are making up a little ground as we come up on Adam Kilday. Anthony English is going to give him a shove to get him up to speed. Trying to look here at where he is at. Now, Adam is the last car on the lead lap, so if these guys do get around him, Anthony is trying to push him out there. But if these lead group does get around Adam, then he will go a lap down, but he don't have to give it to him. We're looking back here. Now they're about a half a second, little under a half a second behind that lead group as they are making a good run on them. Going to see if they go up to the high side, and as Hunter does go up there, there goes Shane, but Shane kind of hanging out back down to the bottom, staying in that draft. But here comes Hunter, Jimmy, and Jason all behind Shane Ward, going to try to push him up to the front. But Anthony English, your current leader. Here comes that group. Shane Ward, Hunter Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds on that outside. Coming around turns 1 and 2. Again, if these guys get around Adam, that will put him up the first car a lap down. That outside line a little more organized. As Shane Ward does drop it down in front of Adam Kilday. But you still got Hunter Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds, Jason Kinsner, Dave Hunt there on that outside. Looking back here, you got Les Levy peeking out, as well as Paul Servant peeking out on that third lane. Dana Osborne, George Rincon, and Andy Brigante making up that third lane. It looks like the 49 of Cole Spalding trying to catch up with Andy on that third lane. Hunter Reynolds now your leader. Jimmy Reynolds there on that second line with Jason Kisner, Paul Servant, Les Levy, Dana Osborne out on that outside. Here comes Dave Hunt shooting up the middle there behind Jason Kinzer. Sorry, Jason. Well, folks, we are halfway through, a little over halfway through lap 44 of 80. We're going to go ahead and step aside, and we're going to do a little bit of crank it up for you guys tonight. We're going to get this off. Going to grab a cup of coffee. I will be right back. Well, folks, while I was gone, it looks like we had a caution. Try to get over here and see what happened. Not exactly sure. It is taking me all the way back to looked like Adam Kilday got a meatball flag as well as Doug Johnson. Well, let's go ahead and do a live rewind here. We'll see if we can get to it. We are on. Adam drops down to the apron. Well, folks, I don't know what happened, but that did bring out a caution. Your cat likes pizza flavored Pringles. Who doesn't? Who doesn't like pizza flavored Pringles? Well, as we're back up here, folks, all the leaders are all down on pit road. Like I said, I'm not sure what happened. Let's see, where is Mr. Bubba Winningham? He is on pit road right now. Jimmy Reynolds, actually Jason, showing Jason Kinzer, but Hunter Reynolds is your leader right now. Paul Servant in second, Jason Kinzer third, Jimmy Reynolds in fourth, Anthony English running at your top five. They got Dana Osborne, Andy Brigante, Josh Gathright, George Rincon, Cole Spalding running at your top 10, Les Levy in 11th. Then you have Burkhart, Mayer, Seabrands, Mann, Stevens, McNeese, Fitzgerald, Ward, and Frazier rounding out your top 20. Looks like Chris Jordan down on pit road. Doug Johnson coming back out on the track. Adam Kilday still under a black flag. Your cat isn't a cat. Well, if your cat's not a cat, what is it? I know what mine is. My cat's a spawn of Satan. That's what mine is. That cat of mine, you can walk by him and he will throw out a paw and grab you. Or at least he does my wife. Well, for me, he just likes to lay down on the floor and let me pet his belly. I'm sitting here trying to finish making my cup of coffee here, folks. So bear with me just a minute. We will get back to the action. I got me a little Keurig coffee pot in my office here where I broadcast from. So I can make my coffee without having to make a full pot. Which I probably shouldn't be drinking coffee this late at night because of my blood pressure, but hey, gotta have it to keep my singing voice in fiddle, as Buster Scruggs likes to say. Well, here we go. Pace lights lights on the pace car are out as we come around the back straightaway, coming to turns 3 and 4. Going to get us started here. 31 laps to go. When we get to the line, it will be 30 laps to go. What? She likes car rides, walks, pizza, Pringle. My cat, he'll watch TV. He don't like car rides, and he weighs about 15 pounds, almost 20 pounds. You'd think he wouldn't be scared of anything, but he is scared of everything. Well, here we go. Coming out of turn 4, pace car dives off down to the safety of pit road. We'll get on our restart cam here in just a second. They get past that Yellowwood paint. Here we go. Flag man's looking up and down the line again. Green flag in his hand. And the green flag is flying. Here we go, folks. Back racing. Again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Joshua out there came into the broadcast booth for just a minute. I do miss having him up here with me, especially on Saturday nights. Especially with those many cars and trucks we've been having on Saturday nights. Well, I'll tell you, an extra set of eyes does come in handy as we're looking back here through our field. Les Levy back here in 11. Shane Ward back here in 12. Dropping back to 16th on that inside. Michael Pratt on his outside. Only lost. Well, Chris Jordan still down on pit road. Adam Kilday back out on the track. He is a lap down. Mike Edgerton is the first truck a lap down. Man, if my cat jumped on my shoulder, it'd probably break my back as heavy as it is. Just saying. Jimmy Reynolds, Hunter Reynolds, actually out front there. Jason Kinzer right behind him. On that inside, Anthony English, Andy Brigante. Outside, Paul Servant, the 17 to Jimmy Reynolds. Dana Osborne, the 89, that is Josh Gathright. Cole Spalding there on that second line. We got a third line trying to form. That is Les Levy, Bubba Winningham, and David Overstreet. They're getting a run on Cole right now. Trying to get that third line going, that third lane going, I should say. So we're 3 wide, Cole on the middle. He is running up on that 89 of Josh Gathright. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there from Les and Bubba. Lap 53 of 80. We are winding it down. We're going to look at our caution count here real quick. 4 cautions for 10 laps, 28 laps to go, 15 lead changes. Definitely a better night than we had last week, folks. No doubt a better night. As we see that 89 of Josh Gathright go to the outside in front of Les Levy. Now Dana Osborne jumping up to that third lane as well. Jimmy Reynolds backing it up a little bit. Got Cole Spalding right behind him. Trying to get Cole to help push him back up there. Get that middle line going. Got to get it organized. Dana comes down a little bit on Jimmy. That third lane just a little bit more organized than that second lane, but they're trying to get together as Hunter goes up in front of his dad Jimmy. They're going to try to get that run. Paul Servant, though, I believe did get that lap. Yes, he did. Dana Osborne, Josh Gathright, that third lane. Hunter Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds, Cole Spalding on the second lane. On the inside, you've got the 3 of Paul Servant, 11 of Jason Kinzer, and the 44 of Anthony English. Dana Osborne and them losing a little bit of momentum coming down the back stretch. Well, Caleb's got into a few things. He's currently 3 laps down, unfortunately. Had to use both of his fast repairs already. But he is hanging in there with these guys, that's for sure. Get back up to the front here. Paul Servant, Hunter Reynolds still battling out. Paul did get another lap led there as we come to turns 1 and 2. Lap 56 of 80. Caution is out, folks. Another caution. I spoke too soon. Took me back to Rob Connors. We're going to take a look here. That was Rob. And the 14th. I think we got some internet issues or something going on. You seen those guys blinking out. When that happens, not a lot that I can do to show what happened. Look like Rob Connors in the 14. That's Sean Frazier getting into each other. We'll go back live here. Get back up towards the front. These guys are still racing back to the, I believe it is his first race with this group, yes. So, yeah, let's see. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and visit with Caleb. See what he is going to broadcast booth. Caleb, Steve up in the booth. Got a copy there, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, buddy. You know, we got a lot of. Oh, hey, stay on the track, brother. We got some fans out there complimenting. You know, it's not the greatest night, but you know, your first time racing with these guys, you're doing pretty good. Got in a few little incidents. How's things feel out there to you, brother?
All right. I'm just fucking nervous as shit. Trying to.
Well, do me a favor. Watch your language. We are live.
Oh hell, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, it's just something new. I've never done anything really like this before, so just trying to learn.
Have you? I mean, how have you been on iRacing for a while, or are you just new to iRacing?
I've been on iRacing for about 6 months or so,
Okay.
since the start of last season. Not too long, but I'm not trying to mess anybody up or anything. Hell, I hit the I guess I came up on him there. I don't know who it was, but looked over. I was trying to talk to my buddy there and tried to unmute my mic, and it just got just loose enough to, you know, send me up there, I guess.
Well, I mean, it is a learning curve, man, and you know you're running with a good group there, with Paul and Les and Russ. I believe that's where you were at, down in room 3 with those guys, wasn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got a good group of guys there, a lot of knowledge. Just, you know, soak it in, and like I said, we just we've got some people out there in chat that you know, was just complimenting how you were doing on your first race. You know, I don't think it's your first race with these guys, but I think this is your first full season with them.
Yeah, like I said, I've never really done anything like this before, and just a lot of learning.
Oh,
you know.
it will be too, brother. All right, well,
And
man.
Oh, go ahead. You're good.
Nah, we just going to, you guys are getting ready. The lights are out. We're going to go ahead and let you go. Get ready to start this back up. And, man, just have fun and take as much information in as you can, brother.
Yeah, thank you, man.
All right, take care.
Take care.
All right, well, guys, I do apologize about the language. He is new, but we try to keep it PG here. And, you know, it sometimes it happens. Not much we can do about it when it does, except ask him not to, you know, just kind of keep an eye on it. But good guy. I talked to him before the race, and yeah, he just, you know, seat time with these guys is what it's going to take. Is we see Doug Johnson, that looked like Adam Kilday, and I want to say that was Chris Jordan. Yes, getting a wave around there. So they will get a lap back. Now Mike Edgerton is still your first truck a lap down, but that will put Doug Johnson, Chris Jordan back to a lap down. Adam Kilday will actually get back on the lead lap as he is trying to push Doug, get him up to the group. So we get up to the front again. Pace car, all the backstretch lights look like they are out. Oh, I know, Everett. We're all grown, but we may have we may have little ones listening. So we do have you know, parents out here racing, their kids watch them. So we just gotta try to keep it as clean as we can. I'm not mad at the kid. He just it is what it is. Hey, right? Yeah. Tony Stewart and some of them guys, yeah. All right, folks, we are coming through turn 4, coming to the restart zone once again. We've had 5 cautions for 13 laps, 22 laps to go. We get to the Geico restart zone. Here we go. Flagman once again looking up and down the line to make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be. Little bit of a check up there coming to the Geico restart zone. Green flag in the air. Back racing here at Talladega. Back 59. Now of 80. Starting lap 60. Hunter Reynolds is your leader. Anthony English right behind him. Jamie Reynolds, Paul Servant on the outside. Jason Kinzer right behind English. And that 28 of George Rincon. Oh, we could probably name. I bet even Dale Sr. and the King himself probably dropped a few bombs on live television. But here we go, folks, coming to the line. We will be 19 to go at the line. They might have enough to make it to the end of the races. We are 20 to go, I should say, at the line. They may have enough because I seen guys out here 26 laps. All right, we are here. 20 to go. Hunter Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds battling out for the lead. Anthony English, Paul Servant there in that second row. Third row, Jason Kinzer, Cole Spalding. And then the 39 of Shane Ward getting in the mix with the 28 of George Rincon. The 62 of Les Leeson. Now Andy Brigante looking to that third lane. Does have some help with him. That is the 89 of Josh Gathright, the 84 of Lynn McNeese, and the 99 of Alex Giffen. Well, I didn't say they were doing it constantly, but I bet they probably have in the heat of the moment. Everybody probably has in the heat of the moment. Looking at the outside line, though, Andy Brigante, Josh Gathright, Lynn McNeese, Alex Giffen, Dana Osborne, and the 343 of Bryce Hancock. And then you got Jimmy Reynolds, Paul Servant, Cole Spalding, Shane Ward, Daniel Harrington. It looks like the 95 of James Mayer in the second lane. Down on the bottom, you got Hunter Reynolds. That is the 44 of Anthony English, the 11 of Jason Kinzer, 28 of George Rincon, and the 62 of Les Levy. Good three-wide racing here, folks. 18 to go. Oh, Cole getting a little bit loose. Saves it somehow. I don't know how he saved it, but he did save it. In traffic at that. Amazing job by Cole on that save. Looking back on the outside, though, Andy Brigante trying to make that run in that third lane. Just cannot get it going. That third lane needs to be a little bit more organized. Get that group tightened up a little bit. Everett's glove saving a beauty. We're racing, not playing hockey, but I get your point. There is Hunter Reynolds down on the inside. Jimmy Reynolds in the midline. English, Servant, Brigante going back three wide. Brigante, Gathright there on that outside line with McNeese and Green, Osborne, Hancock. Dana Osborne looked to be trying to go four wide, but decided not to. Is the 0-2. That is, let me see if I can find the 0-2. That is Isaac Ortiz getting a little bit loose there. Was able to maintain. Stayed in line. Bubba Winningham down behind James Mayer. Looking back up to the front. 16 to go. They've been out here 8 laps. Man, I don't know if they're going to have enough to make it or not. We'll see what they do. Jimmy Reynolds there on the second lane with Paul Servant, Hunter Reynolds, Anthony English. That is Jason Kinzer down on that bottom line. Don't know which line is really faster. That mid line is keeping up with them up into the corner and then catching them on the exit. But that third lane just cannot get anything going. Like I said, maybe if they could get that third lane a little tighter. Ooh, Isaac Ortiz, Lynn McNeese going door to door there. Isaac getting a little bit wiggly. Isaac blinking out now. Right there in front of Rick Seabrands. That's not a good place to be doing that. As Jimmy Reynolds does drop it down from that second line in front of Hunter. That inside line looks to be the line to be on. We're 14 to go. Everett says Cole's a legend. Oh. Guys, we got some of the greatest fans out there in YouTube land. As Doug Johnson down on the apron. It's like coming off a pit road or coming into pit road. He was trying to get out of the way as we seen that looked like Anthony English coming down pit road. Rick Seabrands, Dave Hunt, James Mayer. That's Caleb. Rick, Mark, all those guys down on pit road. We are 13 to go. We'll get back up here to Jimmy Reynolds and crew. Jimmy, Hunter, Jason. Makes me think that they're going to be pitting this time. And here they come. Jimmy Reynolds, Hunter Reynolds. Well, that's going to put Paul Servant, George Rincon right there battling for the lead. They've been out here 11 laps, so I don't know if they are going to plan to save or what's going on. Cole Spaulding right behind Paul Servant, pushing Paul through the corner, trying to get a lead on these guys or maybe close the gap on the group that just pitted. And we are 12 to go. I think anything, if they don't pit now, as the caution comes out, that is going to change up the whole landscape of things here, folks. We'll see what. That is the 45 of Michael Pratt. Let me get on a chase view here, and we'll see what happened. Oh, that was a 343 of Russ Hancock shooting down. Let me rewind this a little bit here and see what happened to Russ. That happened back here in the corner. Russ is coming. They are coming into the corner. Looks like Russ kind of drops down. Make sure. Ooh, him and Jim Duda getting into each other. Russ sideways. Dana was pushing. Oh, Russ hard into the outside wall and comes back down right into Bubba Winningham. Nowhere for Bubba to go. Michael Pratt involved, got caught up in it as well. Well, that's going to change everything right there, folks. So that's going to bring everybody in pit. So your leaders, everybody's coming back down pit road. Paul Servant, Cole Spaulding, Dusty Burkhart, Andy Brigante, Rick Seabrands. Rick stays out. Rick's been out here, James Mayer, been out here 3 laps. Well, that's going to put Jim Duda. That was Mike Edgerton making his way around, getting back on the lead lap with the lucky dog. Jim Duda, Doug Johnson, both are a lap down. Unfortunately, fortunately, they will be waved around when we come back to the start-finish line as we are 10 to go. Yep, that did change everything, so everybody will come, down pit road, came down pit road, got fuel. So they will have enough to make it for sure now. Some guys have different tire strategies. Some guys will take 4, some guys will take 2. Most of the time they'll take the right side. Sometimes they'll just take left sides. But I've come to the conclusion with my racing career here on iRacing that if I come in, I'm taking 4 tires. 2 tires just never worked out well for me for some reason. So especially when you have unlimited tires, that's the way to go. Just take 4 tires, get on a set of fresh, feel goods. Oh, Jim, don't pit. Don't pit, Jim. Well, Jim come down pit road, so he will not get the wave around, so he'll still be a lap down. Doug Johnson will get the wave around here when we get to the start-finish line. They will wave him around the pace car. He will be back on the lead lap. Lights on the pace car are out. So he does get the wave around. Anthony English, your leader. James Mayer to his outside. Rick Seabrands on the inside. Mark Mann there in 4th. Dave Hunt rounding out your top 5. It should be Cole Spaulding up on the high side. Oh, nope, it's going to give that. I was fixing to say, it should have been Cole Spaulding up on the high side. I thought. But Paul Servant is going to take that 6th spot. James up there trying to bump draft with the pace car. Having a little fun with the pace car driver tonight. 9 to go, so hopefully they can have a green flag run to the finish. Battle it out, see who takes the win tonight. This pace car does drop down to the safety of pit road. We'll get to our restart cam as you see these guys coming around. Flag man up there with the green flag in hand. And green flag's back out, folks. Back on the loud pedal once again. 9-lap shootout to see who is going to take it. Anthony English, your leader. James Mayer to his outside. Rick Seabrands right behind Anthony. Rick probably one of the better pushers in the game. Dave Hunt right there in the mix. Now, Dave did have a pretty good season last season. Got a couple of wins, I think, if I remember right. Looking at James Mayer, though, he is out there with Mark Mann on that second line with Paul Savant Johnson. Rincon. Looking at him coming down the tri-oval, 3 wide back here behind Paul Savant. Adam Kilday, Hunter Reynolds. Going to see if they can't get that third lane to do something now. Ooh, Adam Kilday getting a little bit tight there with Paul Servant coming around. Mark Mann coming up on James Mayer on that outside line. Hunter Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds joining them out there as well. Now we're going to see the pusher pushing the pusher. Josh Gathright as Adam Kilday drops it down in front of James. James does give him a shove with Mark Mann. Guys, it's going to be tight racing coming back to the tri-oval, to the start-finish line. Anthony English still your leader. Who is going to take it at the line? Getting a little bit squirrely there. Looks like it's going to be Hunter Reynolds going to need another lap. That's going to be his 25th lap led tonight here with 6 to go. We are 3 wide, at least 7 rows deep from my calculations. See what happens here coming to 6. We are at 6 to go. Hunter Reynolds to the outside with Jimmy. Adam Kilday in the middle. Anthony English down on that bottom line as Hunter drops it down into that second lane once again. Rick Seabrands, Anthony English down on that low line. Rick trying to get Anthony pushed up there to keep Hunter from dropping down to that low line. Anthony English is your leader coming to the start-finish line. Hunter Reynolds going to get another lap. 26 laps led for Hunter. I think if Dave Hunt and Cole Spalding, as Jason Kinzer blinking out a little bit there in front of Alex Green, or Alex Giffen, sorry. Alex Green got a provisional for tonight. We are 5 to go, folks. Joshua's back. Oh, Hunter getting turned. That's going to bring out our caution, folks. Ooh, 99 to Giffen up and around. That's going to collect half of the field. People trying to get it shut down. Let's take a look here, folks. As Alex Giffen does get a black flag, we're going to do a live rewind here. Stay on Hunter. Let's go to a chase view. May have been a bad push there by Adam, but we'll take a look here. Oh, no. Hunter come down. Caught the fender of Anthony English. As we see all kinds of carnage piling up here. Well, yep, Everett Grover jinxed it. That's going to put us at 4 to go. It'll be 3 to go, so this will be an official green white checker. As Hunter Reynolds has got parts coming off of his truck. Now he still has 2 of his fast repairs. Well, that's going to put Jimmy Reynolds as your leader. English in second, Kilday third, Seabrands fourth. Actually, that's going to put Anthony as your leader. Jimmy Reynolds in second, Kilday third. Seabrands in fourth, Kinzer in fifth, Hunt sixth, Mark Mann to seventh, Gathright in eighth, Spalding ninth, Servant back to 10th, Ortiz in 11th, Hancock 12th, Burkhart 13th, Neese in 14th. Rob Connors here in 15th. Ty Dahlman in 16th. Frazier 17th. Overstreet 18th. Winningham in 19th. Overstreet 18th. Fitzgerald 19th. Mike Edgerton will be in 20th. Shane Ward. Here we go. ATVO doing the same thing. Double numbering people. We got Shane Ward and Mike Edgerton both in 20th. But he probably needs to go because Saturday night he came in second. So if he wins tonight, definitely needs to take his truck for inspection. And if he wins, we'll make sure that we tell him that Joshua wants to see him in his truck in the garage. Well, that was the 99 of Alex Giffen. Trying to launch up into the stratosphere. Didn't have enough booster to get him up there, so. Let's see here. Well, this will be our GWC attempt. Will probably be our first GWC attempt. It may be an official GWC. Not sure just yet how they're going to do it. If they're going to count this as one of the attempts or as the part of the official race. As the lights are off on the pace car, that's going to put English as the leader, Reynolds in second, Kilday third, Sebring fourth, Kinzer fifth. Like I said, I don't know if this will be one of the GWC attempts or if this is going to be an official. Hopefully this will be the only one they have. Looking back through. Looks like we still have 37 trucks out on the track, folks. Started with 38. Yeah, I can't look at it. According to ATVO, though, this is going to be an official. Part of the regular race. This is not one of the GWC attempts. Pace car does dive off down to the safety of pit road. As these guys are coming up on the Geico restart zone. Jason Kinzer blinking out a little bit. Here we go. Flagman's looking up and down the line again. Green flag in hand. Geico restart zone coming up. Green flag on the loud pedal. GWC, let's see if they can get this done. Correct. That's what I was thinking. Unofficial GWC still under regulation. Adam Kilday pushing Anthony English. Great, I guess you could say, catch up by Adam. being a couple of laps down, able to get his laps back now, back up towards the front. Hunter or Jimmy Reynolds to the outside with Rick Seabrand's Dave Hunt in on that inside line. You've got English, Kilday, Kinzer, Mann, Spalding coming up to the line. If they can make it to the line without a caution, there'll be white flag in the air, folks. 1 to go. Whatever happens is going to happen now. Final lap, 1 to go. English, Kilday, Kinzer, inside, outside, Reynolds, Seabrands, Hunt, Gathright. Who is going to take the checkered flag? It's going to be a drag race. Well, let's see if we can't get a little closer views. We are 4 wide. Gathright going out there 4 wide. Now we're back 3 wide. Servant, Burkhart to the outside. They're coming around. Here we go, folks. Coming to the tri-oval. Let's see who is going to get it here. English inside. Kilday right behind him. Jimmy Reynolds to the midline. Coming to the line. Who's going to get it? English with the win. Reynolds in second. Kilday third. What a great finish. Great race by these guys. Well, let's go ahead and we're going to rewind this, get to that finish line, get on a chase view here of Mr. Anthony English. We're going to get back over here to the side view so we can get an idea how close it was for that second place spot between Reynolds and Kilday. Reynolds splitting the difference there. Got second by half a truck length over Adam Kilday. Great finish. Your top 3. Anthony English with the win. Jimmy Reynolds in second. Adam Kilday third. Well, folks, hang tight. We're going to get our top 3 in for a post-race interview here on MaxspeedTV. Hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we have caught up with our top 3. Our third place finisher will get Mr. Adam Kilday up here in just a second. Let me get on his truck here, and then we'll get him to the broadcast booth. Well, Adam, great job, dude. You started towards the back, worked your way up from a deficit of a couple of laps, and made your way back up to the front, man. Awesome job. Talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's that first green flag stop we had. I don't know. I must have misunderstood or I anticipated like the pit entry wrong. I probably didn't account for the time, like how hot the track was at the time during that pit. It was like 120. So when I got on the brakes like I usually do, at a certain point it kind of just locked up, and yeah, I didn't get the braking distance that I thought I was going to get. So I sent it in too hot, probably was 20 over coming into the yellow cone, and they hit me with a 40-second hold. But yeah, I don't know, I was just hoping for probably yellows to ensue to help me get back up on the lead lap somewhat, which happened to be the case. I ended up taking a free wave around So yeah, after that, that got me back uh up with everyone else. So it was just more so of a challenge, just making my way up from the back of the field to the front, and that came with a lot of luck because shortly after, probably the last yellow we had, um, that ended up putting a bunch of guys like off a pit cycle. So the way that played out, I was able to make up a bunch of track position because I had just pitted prior to the yellow, so I had just topped off my tank, and a bunch of other guys still needed to go into pit for fuel. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that ended up working out for me in the end and getting a top three at the end of the day.
Yeah, we were sitting here talking about in chat whether you guys was going to have enough fuel or not, but 50% fuel. What was y'all's lap average as far as a tank of fuel?
I can't remember. It's like 14, 3, 15 laps.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it was really on that probably the restart before last. It was really a bunch of the guys behind me that ended up pushing me up to a good spot there. So all of us at that point up in the front, we were all pretty much set pretty darn good for fuel. So yeah, I don't know who else ended up getting a good position out of that run. Me, Hunter, and Jimmy. I think Gathright was up there. How well they made out of that instance coming around up top. But I don't know. It's kind of unfortunate how that one last wreck ensued between Hunter and Anthony and me. So I'm probably uh gonna watch that back and see if it was a part of me pushing Hunter or what the case was. But yeah, I gotta talk to those guys about that one, see what happened.
Yeah, honestly, from what I've seen, we were right there. We went back and looked at it. Looked like Hunter came down and got into Anthony's right front fender and got Hunter loose and sideways. So it didn't look like a bad push or anything like that. It just looked like he come down a little too much. Of course, we've had several netcode incidents tonight, so but that's to be expected with this many trucks out here and the way the servers have been lately. But anyway,
Yeah,
awesome job, buddy. We're gonna go ahead and let you get your final thoughts. Shout out Stanks and let you go celebrate your P3.
yeah, we're gonna shout out to CFM Speedway Monkeys again, dude. They put on an awesome race. Like this one right here, 38 freaking cars. I think 38 is like the magic number for super speedways. Like I would say 35 is probably good for the most amount of cars, but then you could probably add a few more to the field on top of that, and then it's like a good magic number, I believe. So yeah, shout out to these guys for putting on a good sized field for us to enjoy on Sunday night. Shout out to the guys I was running with in Discord, Anthony, James, Mark, and Rick. Shout out to those dudes. Shout out to Hunter and the guys behind me that ended up helping me out a bunch to get up in this position. And frick, who else is it? MaxspeedTV too. So yeah, shout out to you, Stephen Lane. Your broadcast, dude. Shout out to Medlock as well. I've been reading up on his messages, and I've been keeping in touch or up to date on what's been going on with him. And I can only still hope for the best for this guy, dude. Um, but yeah, that should about do it, man. Heck yeah.
All right, brother. Well, congratulations again. Go celebrate, and you guys will be racing Monday night. So good luck tomorrow night.
I will do.
All right, we'll see you, buddy.
You too.
All right, well, folks, that is going to bring us to our second place winner. We'll get the cameras turned around here. A guy that we have got to talk to a few times, but very rarely have we got to talk to him up here after the race. Jimmy Reynolds, man, you started second, finished second, man. Let's talk about your race tonight. How was it? Track temperatures high, tempers maybe a little bit flaring. We don't know.
I thought it was a good race tonight. The track temperature was high, so it was a lot slicker than usual. But I thought there was some pretty good tight racing tonight.
Well, we're talking a little bit about pit stops. Adam had a little bit of a little incident there coming on the pit road. Was said it was he didn't to account for the track temperature and how slick it was coming on the pit road. Was you having to be a little more cautious coming down on the apron or down into pit road tonight?
No, I didn't notice coming in pit entry. The time I noticed it was getting out of your pit box because I really didn't take any tires, so it was a little slick coming out of the pit box and a little slick on the restarts. But that's how it affected me being hotter.
Well, awesome run. I mean, it was a lot better race this week than last week. I think we only had 7 cautions tonight compared to the 13 that we had last week. But awesome job by all these guys out here. 38 cars start, not a bad field. For really still the start of the second round of the second season.
Oh yeah, I good fields. I like to see that. Like to see a lot of new blood out here too. So that they got to get used to us. We got to get used to them. But yeah, for the second race, that was pretty cool. Especially being here at Dega with all the 3 wide and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a good deal.
Well, it's definitely a good race, buddy. So we're not going to keep you any longer, man. Go ahead and give you the mic. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate?
I just want to thank all the admins for putting this on and David Overstreet for all the time he puts in. Appreciate you for broadcasting and appreciate the racers coming out because without them, there'd be no us.
All right, Jimmy. Well, buddy, go celebrate. Congratulations on your P2. And, man, we'll see you next week.
Yep. Appreciate you.
All right, buddy. We'll put him down there. Well, that is going to bring us to, well, let's get him up here while I work on this because surprise, surprise, surprise. No, well, shouldn't say no surprise. Anthony English, your winner tonight, second race in a row. Man, by the way, Joshua said he wants to see you, your truck, and your crew chief at the NASCAR hauler.
Take it in, inspect it.
I think they want to tear you down, buddy. Man, awesome job. I mean, you have been. We talked about this even last night after the Saturday night race. Man, you have just been absolutely on a tear, really for the last month. You've had really good finishes. You've had wins. Just really an outstanding job, dude. I mean, of course, you can't do it alone. You've got to have that help.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely owe tonight's win to Adam. I mean, Adam's pushing was great. Rick was doing an amazing job pushing Jimmy there, and ended up being just barely nudging them out at the line and stuff. So they definitely had a run coming. But yeah, hats off to Adam. And yeah, you need a good pusher. I mean, in any instance, when you finish a race here, you gotta have a good pusher. It takes teamwork makes the dream work type deal. So without good friends and good pushers, I definitely wouldn't be having I'd say the lucky streak that I am having. But yeah, I mean, you can't do it by yourself in Super Speedway racing, that's for sure.
Well, Joshua was out there in chat saying English is refusing to bring his truck to the garage. He's using a different setup than everybody else, but I don't think that's the case. I just think it's the help you're getting, staying clean, good pit stops. I mean, overall, you look like you had really good pit stops tonight as well.
Yeah, tried to make sure I didn't speed in pits and get a flag and such. That's been my main concern. I came in real hot on that one stop, but got woed down, and Adam didn't quite get woed down when we had that one stop, but he ended up making a hell of a recovery coming back from a lap down and all that after because he ended up having a motor blow shortly after all that stuff, and went a lap down, and to come back to finish third, that's a hell of a recovery for him. So hats off to him. But But yeah, I mean, just nailing pit stops, just being a little bit conservative, trying not to overdo it, and just trying to stay clean. I think I ended tonight with just a 4X. I think I don't know what exactly happened with me and Hunter towards the end there, but I know he was pinching me. I was trying to give Rick a little room to breathe, and Hunter got a little bit sideways, so that might have ended up being on me. I feel bad for Hunter about that. Me and Hunter always run real well, real well together and stuff. So I didn't want to see that happen to him. But yeah, just yeah,
Well,
you know.
honestly, from my point of view, the way that we were looking at the replay, of course, Adam was right behind Hunter, pushing Hunter, and as you guys was right there in the corner, a lot of side drafting going on, but he had about, I don't know, close to a almost a 3/4 gap on you, or truck length ahead of you. He kind of come down a little bit and got into your right front. Could have been a little bit of net code, but I think inevitably there would have been some contact anyway, and that just kind of got him a little sideways. But just from my point of view, that's what it looked like to me. So, of course, like you said, you guys, y'all race with each other, y'all respect each other, y'all, usually race each other really, really clean. Wasn't anything malicious or intentional about it.
No, not at all. I mean, me and Hunter and Jimmy and those guys, we've raced for years together, and me and Hunter actually really do enjoy racing with each other and stuff. So it wasn't anything malicious, by far. It's just coming down. I think we only had like 4 laps to go when that ended up happening, and like I said, I was just trying to keep like a 1/4 of a lane on the bottom for Rick, so he had a little bit of the ability to breathe. Because if he wasn't able to breathe and keep it cool, they probably would have ended up freight training us, and I needed to try to keep Rick as cool as I could. And Hunter might have thought that I was going to go all the way down to the line when he came down, just to keep the pressure on my side door, or maybe I didn't stay as far, or maybe I was higher than what I thought it was. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't looked at it yet, but yeah, never in a million years would I do anything like that to Hunter. He's too good of a bud. And I don't race like that anyways, but
Right.
still still feel bad for him. We were in a good position to put on a show there at the end.
Yeah. Well, you definitely did do that, Anthony. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you, because I know you ran that low line quite a bit tonight, and I know some guys was talking about the update for this track, and they were saying that the yellow line could be a little bit slippery. Did you ever get down that low to touch that yellow line to maybe get a feel for it to see if it did? Even in practice, I don't know if you did or not.
I ran Talladega quite a bit since the update, and it's more so when you have hot worn tires. Now, it was a hot track tonight, and it might cause a little bit of a dysfunction down on the very bottom, but with the way they moved, or I should say, with the way they added that second line in that black strip, that second line in that black strip is actually on the normal angled racing surface now. So I think a lot of us are still getting used to where to properly position your truck on that line. So and I've noticed a lot less apron mishaps since they put these lines in. So it's helped people keep a little bit away from the apron, but there is definitely a little bit more. You can run right on that yellow and not be that first yellow line and not be, even touching the apron yet and stuff, but
Not get loose or anything.
yeah. And I haven't had too much of an issue, because I've heard the same thing, that some people said that the paint's a little slick and that black strip of pavement's a little bit slicker than the rest. But the only time I've ever noticed anything is when I'm hard on the wheel trying to avoid something or getting pushed like out of whack in the corner or whatnot. Then it'll feel a little loose on you. But overall, not too bad. I mean, it could definitely play in a little bit, but I was trying to, like the last couple runs that we had, I was trying to stay a 1/4 of a lane off of it anyways, so the person behind me could breathe. So I wasn't even down there really messing around with it. That bottom lane's actually pretty fast now compared to what it used to be. Like you're good on the bottom if you can stay cool and stay as equally cool as the guy pushing in the middle. That bottom lane can hold its own now a little bit better than what it used to be able to. and that's why I ended up taking it there at that green white checker. There is, I just for like 2 laps, it's pretty solid, and then after that, it comes down to who can keep their truck cooler type game by the pushers. And so, it's always it's always a chance no matter what line you pick, because you never know what could happen. But just from a little bit of the experience, that low line it just seems pretty good for about 2 laps. That's how I lost to Dustin last night, is they had that bottom lane, green white checker, 2 laps, and he beat me by half a car. So I just pulled the play out of Dustin's playbook last night, and I just stayed on the bottom. And it ended up working out for me with Adam giving me, like I said, some hella pushes there. So.
Well, awesome job, buddy. I know you started, I believe, in 3rd, and you finished with the win. Congratulations. So just to let you know, Joshua did join me up in the booth for a little bit, so it's definitely
Did he? Nice.
Yeah, so it's nice to have him up there, but he's still out there. He says he's got to pick on you a little bit, as always. He always likes giving you a hard time, and I think all the guys enjoy him giving you guys a hard time anyway. But awesome job, buddy. Any final thoughts, shout outs, things you want to give before you go to celebrate?
Oh, well, big thank you. Thank you to everything you said. And nice to hear that Josh was up there giving me crap. It's not the same without Josh giving me crap. It really is not. It used to be a couple times a week ordeal in our chats, and especially on the Saturday nights when we would talk before the races and stuff. But it's one of those things that you don't miss it until it's gone type deal. And now that it's not happening much, it's like, oh, it's just good to see him back around, and just praying for him that he keeps up on a good solid recovery here, and hopefully doesn't have any more issues with everything that happened like a couple days ago with him having another little mini heart attack and stuff. So we're all wishing him the best, hoping he gets better soon, and hoping he has a solid recovery now and doesn't end up going backwards in this whole deal, because we all want to see, we love having you around, Stephen, but we definitely all do want to see Medlock make it back too.
We all do, brother. That's for sure.
So big shout out at that point to you and MaxspeedTV, and what Joshua has been doing. It's nice to hear that he was up in the booth. I'm gonna have to watch the broadcast to hear him. And then all the admins here: David O, Bubba, Len, Russ, and whatever. I don't know who all is admins in here anymore, but I know those 4 are the main 4. So big shout out to those 4 for what they've done to this league. They've made it hella fun, man. I mean, the last season was a blast, and this season is turning out to be right on par with it. So they're doing a hell of a job, especially with the numbers that we've had the last couple weeks. We've had amazing numbers, 40 something last week, 38 tonight, and tonight started a little bit dicey, but it cleaned up real good, and we had a really good race last half of the race, which was awesome. So big shout out to those guys, what they've been doing. All the teammates, Rick, Mark, Jim, Adam, we've ran together for ages. We do pretty good, and we tried to stick to what our game plan was here and there through the night, and it paid off for most of us there. And I think Rick ended up with a 5th. I think Mark was in the top 10 too. James finished a little far back. I think he was in that incident when the whole Hunter thing happened and stuff. So I feel bad for him. I apologize to him too if that ended up being my fault. But big shout out to all those guys. Definitely Adam for the pushing at the end there. He almost got cleared. I was hoping he did clear Jimmy just to clear on the outside, but he didn't get quite clear, so he ended up staying behind me. So still a big shout out to Adam for the push in there and pushing me across for the win. Same with Jimmy Hunter. Big shout out to Jimmy Hunter. Those guys, they might not be in the channel teammates, but they're always going to be best friends that we try to do what we can to help each other out whenever we can. And sucks for Hunter, like I said earlier, but good to see Jimmy finish P2 after having a bad end of the race last week. And then all the families, friends, fans, everybody watching, my dad at home, my beautiful girlfriend sitting on the couch, Buttkicker for sponsoring everything that they do, and just being a huge part of a lot of leagues that we run and do stuff in and stuff. And who sponsored tonight? What's
Andrew Schroeder sponsored tonight the Men's Mental Health 200.
And a big shout out to Schroeder for sponsor tonight. It sucks he wasn't able to be here. I think he's waiting on a pedal part or a new pedal base or something to come. He ended up getting it covered in water or something. So he'll be out for a few days, unfortunately, or he would have been here tonight. But yeah, big shout out to him for sponsoring tonight. You know, every bit helps. You know, and big shout out to everybody else that helps the series do what they do. All the sponsors, all the admins, all the fans, all the stuff that they do behind the scenes. Les, Peter, and a bunch of people who paint all the cars and stuff like that for us. And you know, just like on Saturdays, there's so many people and stuff that make this happen that, you know, some people just don't realize it. So, you know, just big shout out to everybody out there that makes this what it is and as good as what it is.
Well, absolutely. Of course, we got Atlanta next week. I know you enjoy that
Yeah.
track as well. So
I love me some Atlanta.
all right, buddy. Well, congratulations. Go celebrate, brother. And I know y'all got race tomorrow night, so good luck tomorrow night, bro.
Thank you very much, Steven. You have a great night.
You too. We'll put him down there. Well, the guys, that's going to bring us to our unofficial results, pinning any admin stuff. We're going to go ahead and get to that. Of course, your winner, the number 44, Anthony English, tonight. Back-to-back wins to start out Season 2. Jimmy Reynolds there in second. Adam Kilday third. Josh Gathright in fourth. Rick Seabrins fifth. Jason Kinzer in sixth. Paul Servant seventh. Dave Hunt in eighth. Mark Mann in ninth. And Dusty Burkhart rounding out the top 10. Cole Spalding with an 11th finish tonight. Isaac Ortiz in 12th. Rob Connors finishing 13th. 14th, Lynn McNeese. 15th, David Overstreet. 16th, Bubba Winningham. 17th, Hunter Reynolds. Fortunately, get involved with that little incident there with Anthony there with that last caution. James Mayer in 18th. Shane Ward 19th. Ty Dahlman in 20th. Sean Frazier finishing 21st. Mike Edgerton 22nd. Les Levy 23rd. George Rincon in 24th. Bob Fitzgerald 25th. Dana Osborne 26th. 27th was Daniel Harrington. 28th, Sean Stevens. 29th, Andy Brigante. And finishing 30 was the 78 of Chris Jordan. 31st, Russ Hancock. 32nd, Michael Pratt. 33rd, Doug Johnson. The 34th, Ash Regner. 35th, Jim Duda. 36th, Alex Giffen. 37th, Caleb. Man, I'm going to butcher. Niast. And 38th is John Guerrero. That's going to do it for us tonight here, folks, on MaxspeedTV. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, big shout out to our sponsor, Mr. Andrew Schroeder, the men's mental health 200 here at Talladega. Round 2 of the season 2, presented by Buttkicker. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Joshua for coming up here in the booth with me for a little bit. Blue Yoshi out there tuning in right there at the last of that thing's got a Hemi. He's probably got something, but Everett Baker, Everett Grover, Jeremy was out there in chat for a little bit. Moose Pie joined us for a little while. Michael Fari out there as well. So, of course, Andrew, our race sponsor, tuning in and rooting everybody on. So, hope you get out here really quick, Andrew. Hope you get whatever it is that you need to get. But do appreciate everybody tuning in. Got the 10 likes for tonight. Again, we will be back next Saturday. We won't have any broadcasts throughout the week, but next Saturday we will be back for OP here on MaxspeedTV. Well, guys, until next Saturday, I hope everybody had a great weekend. Have a great week coming up. Be safe and have a good night.